These are so cute. Um, why is this always the hardest question? I'm Carla. Um, I I do a lot of things. um, Recently, I've come to the idea that I actually am an artist. Even if I'm not specifically like, I feel like most people think of art as like painting or something very specific, but I feel like art encompasses so much more than that. And I'm getting more comfortable at calling myself an artist, which is, I think this is the first time I've ever introduced myself in that way. So that's kind of cool. Um, I am a writer, a creator, obviously. Um, I an adventurer. I love being outside. I love camping and hiking, going for walks outside, just spending as much time being outside. Um, my intention for this year is to create as much as possible and be outside as much as possible and do both at the same time as much as possible. Um, I freelance, so I freelance for a nonprofit and I help coordinate photographers and videographers for their media team. I work with a friend of mine's brand where we're building an outdoorsy brand to inspire people to get outside. We've got some really cool things coming up this year. And then I'm also in this process of building my own brand and figuring out like what that looks like as an artist, as a writer. Through right now it's things like creating bingo card workshops and helping people create their bingo cards and really focus on what they want to do and in a way that's exciting and fun. I feel like we get so caught up on the shoulds of what we need to do or how to fix our lives. And I'm using these bingo cards and this bingo card workshop as a way to inspire people to actually go towards the things that they want to do. So it's really cool and exciting and fun. Um, I'm from Ohio, but I live in Pennsylvania and I absolutely love it. And yeah, I feel like that's a little bit about me. On a scale of 1 to 10, how authentically am I living my life? I feel like I would give this an 8. Um, I feel like I am living my life as authentically as I know what that means in this moment. I feel like for some people, I like my sister. I admire her so much because I feel like she's one of those people that is just like unapologetically herself, like gives zero fucks, like just is herself, and I love that. I feel like from a young age, I struggled with that, and that has weaved itself into my life throughout my whole life. And I feel like I was always trying to figure out like what the right thing is and what to do and what I want and deal with what I want as well as the pressure of family and society and all of that. And so I feel like in these last few years, I've finally come back to what feels like it's the most me, even if I didn't know that that's what this is going to look like. And I think that's been like one of the coolest things is like where I'm at right now, it feels the most true to me, but I didn't know that this is what it's going to look like when I lived that way. Like I could never, I never thought that like being an artist or being a creator, spending 90% of my time camping and being outside and doing all these things that I do. I spent the big snowstorm we just have camping in a yurt. People are like buckling down in their houses with all of these things, and I'm camping. And I could have never guessed that that's what my life would look like. But I love it. And it's really, really cool and really fun to see how it continues to evolve as I continue to be intentional about like creating my life and what do I want my life to look like. So I feel like authenticity to me, like it evolves. Hmm. What am I doing when I feel the most myself? I feel like a big part of it is creating, and creating in a way that, like, when I picture this, for me, it's like I have like a big table. Like I can't go to a coffee shop. I hate it when you have to sit at a really, really small table. Like I need a big table, and I need like three notebooks, and I need post-it notes. And I came home from the dollar store last night with a new pack of gel pens that were 50% off. And my roommate's like, you have really nice pens. I'm like, you can't have too many pens. And like that feels like the most me though. Like where it's like this creative chaos and I'm just like letting it all flow and letting it figure itself out. And like you know how like it's like somewhat like a sculptor. I feel like they start with a block of wood or marble or whatever they're sculpting, and they just like slowly start chipping away until they figure out what it looks like. I feel like a lot of times that's my creative process of like I'm just going to start like writing these things down. I'm going to start letting all the ideas flow, letting the poem flow, and I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. And then all of a sudden you're done and you're like, oh wow, like that's really cool. um and I feel like that feels like the most me. Someone that I know recently said um something like, if you can see the entire vision, if you can see the whole future, then it's not your vision. And I that has really been in the back of my head this past week. Like, don't get me wrong, it's really cool when you can see everything, but when you let it all unfold, there's this like excitement and like curiosity and like playful juiciness to it. And I really love that. Um, and then with that, anytime I'm outside, just like being outside, going for walks in nature, camping, exploring, like being around people, and just like we all get to be ourselves in whatever weird ways we want to be and just like show up and be outside, and there's no rules out there. Like you just get to like Mother Nature doesn't expect you to be anybody, and you just get to show up and like be, and I love that. What's the craziest thing on my 2026 bingo card? I'm really glad that I actually created my bingo card this week. um, I think one of the weirdest things on my bingo card, maybe not weird, but just like it doesn't make sense, is I wrote down make an amount of money that makes 0 cents to make. So last year I put make have a $13,000 month, which I did not get to. And this year, I feel very much like this year is going to be the year for unexpected miracles and excitement and possibilities and opportunities. And I I didn't want to lock myself into something. I didn't want to lock myself into a number that was too small or too big. I just wanted to like let it come through. So I wrote, make an amount of money that makes 0 cents to make. I also really love things that don't make sense. Like you're like, why does this work? Or you see a couple that like they're just perfect together, but like on paper they don't make any sense together. Like I love things like that. So I'm gonna lean into that this year and see what happens. So maybe that's probably one of the craziest things. Oh, I also wrote meet meet Raya. And Raya is my future dog, which I have no control over. I already know her name. I don't know where she's coming from. I don't know how it's gonna work out. But I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna let the universe figure that one out and see what happens. I'm not gonna search for her. I'm not gonna go like looking for a dog. I'm just gonna like see what happens. If your wildest dreams had already come true, what would your future self tell you to stop holding back? I feel like my future self would tell me to stop worrying so much and just full send it. Like I feel like I hold back in probably almost every area of my life. Out of fear, out of worry, out of, is this going to work? And I feel like I've shown myself that when I take steps that feel right, when I follow my intuition, when I have these teeny tiny moments where I like forget about all the bullshit and I just like go for it, or I let myself like exist and be in all of my everything that makes me me, like I I don't hold back, and it's so freeing and exciting and fun and like alive, and that is that's like the scariest part of myself to let people see, is just that like fully alive, fun, weird, playful self. It's my favorite part of myself, and it's the part that I feel like I hold back a lot because I get scared. Um, and I think my future self would be like, stop that and just go for it. Let it all out. What are you learning to love about yourself? I feel like I'm learning to love the things that I feel like people in my past have like made me feel like they're too much, or they're too weird, or they're like not going to get me where I want to go. Like I create chaotically and messy. I cook messy. I like I'm really quiet in some ways and really loud in other ways, and like there's all these like little weird things that I feel like I spend a lot of time like internalizing that they they were wrong or bad or too much. And this last year, especially, and actually with this whole bingo challenge that I did, I've been finding more confidence in those things and more joy in those things. I'm like, no, like those are the things that make me me. Like I wouldn't be myself if I didn't do it that way, because that's how I do it. And I had someone, a friend of mine, he told his mom that I'm his weirdest friend. And I think he was like making a joke out of it. But when he said that, I kind of took it as a compliment. I don't really know that I'm that, I don't think I'm that weird, but I do like dumb, weird things. And I think about that a lot. And I'm like, I feel like, no, like that's a good thing. Like those are the things that make me me. Those are the things that excite me, that make me feel good, that make me do it the way I do it versus the way someone else does it. So I'm really learning to like to love all of that and to like bring all of that out. Kind of like my future self is telling me to stop holding back. It's like, no, stop holding all of these things back. Like they are perfectly you. Any final thoughts? Getting to do this is really cool. Um, this is not something I would have done 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I was just telling somebody recently that when I was in college, I was so shy. I couldn't even order pizza or make doctor's appointments or walk into a room full of people that I didn't know. And through a lot of like pushing myself out of my comfort zone and putting myself in uncomfortable situations, like I've grown and I'm a lot more confident and I'm not as shy as I used to be. And something that I really want to do, that I've been wanting to do in this last year and this year coming up, is like use my voice more, like speak more, show up more, like let myself be visible, not hide behind fear or other people or anything. And getting to sit here and uh, be on video and let this be seen is, it's exciting and it's nerve wracking, and it makes me really proud of myself because this isn't something that I would have done years ago. And now I get to sit here and have these moments and sit back and watch it when this is all out there. And I feel like my 16-year-old self would be really excited for me and also like completely terrified because she would be like, I would have never done that. Um, and it's just really cool. And between like that and this bingo card challenge that I did and these workshops that I'm doing, it's so fun to like get to work towards the things that you want to do and find the ways that we get to like push ourselves out of our comfort zone and create a life that is exciting and fun and feels really, really good to us. I feel like that's so much of what it's all about. And I don't know. I feel like I started one way and ended in a different place. But I'm really thankful that I get to be here and I'm really excited. I'm really proud of myself. And thanks, Tally, for having me. This is amazing.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all I got.